Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
There is a lesson. There's a lesson for every American city and state this morning. Do not follow New York City's lead and elect a socialist. He will or she will stab you in the back. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us this hour, 800-848-9222. New York's socialist mayor, and we'll get to Rhode Island and other items in a few minutes, but New York City's socialist mayor is declaring war on the city's middle class, insisting that Governor Hochul's refusal to raise personal taxes on the rich and boost corporate taxes leaves him, quote, no choice except to hike city property taxes nearly 10%. What happened to free? And now he wants to tax homeowners. This guy is a disaster. Now, not only is it taxing homeowners that he wants to do if he gets his way, it will lead to higher rents for New Yorkers. Housing industry officials are warning. After 45 days in office, Mamdani says he'll be forced to raid the rainy day fund, the retiree health benefits reserve, and increase property taxes. Cities around the country, wherever you're listening to us from, do not follow New York's lead and elect a socialist.
There are two paths to bridge this gap. The first is the most sustainable and the fairest path. This is the path of ending the drain on our city and raising taxes on the richest New Yorkers and the most profitable corporations. The onus for resolving this crisis should not be placed on the backs of working and middle-class New Yorkers. And if we do not go down the first path, the city will be forced down a second, more harmful path. Faced with no other choice, the city would have to exercise the only revenue lever fully within our own control. We would have to raise property taxes. We would also be forced to raid our reserves. To balance the budget as required by law, our preliminary budget takes the only path within our control, the second path. The options of the second path are the options of last resort.
Do you still think he's Nelson Mandela? Do you still think he's so cute, the socialist mayor that doesn't like police, that's anti-Semitic? Mamdani! That's what we're talking about. Cities across the country, wherever you're listening to us from right now, do not follow New York City's lead. London, England tried to warn New York City about a socialist, about Mamdani, but we were so caught up in the idea of a young mayor who's 34 years old with no executive experience. And boy, is it showing now. Well, at least he's doing one thing correct here. Mamdani is bringing back the homeless encampment sweeps, doing the exact opposite of his campaign promise. The guy stands for nothing. This is according to the New York Post. So we know now close to 20 New Yorkers in the cold weather literally died out on the street. Literally. And Mamdani said during the campaign, oh, it's inhumane to pick up their encampments. So now he's bringing back the sweeps, reversing course on yet another campaign promise following backlash for not getting people off the streets during the deadly cold snap. Again, this is according to the New York Post, and we see your calls coming in. We'll begin with them momentarily. Now, the mayor is expected to restart the practice, to begin the practice again soon, used by each of his predecessors and ramped up during the Adams administration as soon as today. And according to the Post, the city's Department of Homeland Services will be handling this, taking lead on issuing notices to people living on the street. If that's not enough bad news in terms of a socialist mayor, New York City is losing jobs to Texas. And Mamdani's tax push will make the problem worse. If that's not enough, in his budget, Mamdani, migrant spending. Remember, before this migrant mess, New York City had a surplus. Migrant spending has topped a whopping $10 billion with a B, and Mamdani wants another $1.2 billion in the budget for migrants, for illegals. And so we're going to get from Mamdani to his, I shouldn't refer to a member of Congress as airhead, so I'm not going to say AOC is an airhead. I'm just going to say the elevator doesn't go to the top floor. That's a better way. We're going to get to her in just a minute. Remember, she's one of the key people, her and Bernie Sanders, that campaigned heavy, hard and heavy for Mamdani. We'll get to that in just a second, Rhode Island, but I want to begin with some of your telephone calls. Let's start with Michael, line 2, Long Island. What's on your mind, Michael? Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Dominic. How are you?
Good. Go right ahead, please.
Good. What's on my mind is this Zoran, I call him Zoran the moron. He is unbelievable. He's given Governor Hochul an ultimatum. So if he doesn't get his way, he's going to raise property taxes almost 10% on New York City residents who own homes. It's disgusting. It's just not right, you know? And I'm just so happy that I left the city 6 years ago because it's just horrible, just horrible.
You know, this guy is so bad. And I was going to save this question for Matt Blaze, and so I'm going to let him know now what I want to talk to him at the bottom of the hour. Mamdani is so bad. He's so bad, Michael, that, and I'm just thinking out loud because there's no way to carry this out. This guy is so bad. This election was so bad that I'm starting to feel that the masses should not be able to vote because they don't know what they're doing. Oh, he's so cute. The first Muslim American mayor. He's so cute. This guy is a disaster. And he should not be the mayor of New York City. You know, but we had 3 candidates. We had 3 candidates in the race. Right. And one let his ego get in the way and wouldn't get out of the race, and we're stuck with Mamdani. Michael, thank you so much for the telephone call. Let's go to Robert in North Carolina on line 4. Good morning, Robert. What's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I heard on the news that Mamdani wants $1 billion in new spending on illegals.
That's what I just said, Robert. Literally just said 30 seconds ago.
So much for a balanced budget.
Well, no, it's going to be a balanced budget. It's just you're paying for it. The budget will be balanced, but you're going to pay for it. I mean, you're not going to pay for it because you live in North Carolina. Thank you for the call.
Right.
But New Yorkers will pay for it. This is after $10 billion. And you know, Robert, New York had a surplus. The fact of the matter is the city's last mayor would still be the current mayor if he didn't fall from the trap from Governor Abbott of Texas. Governor Abbott of Texas said, I'm done dealing with these liberal mayors. I'm going to give them a taste of their own medicine. Abbott said, here, you deal with the migrants. And instead of Eric Adams standing out front, Robert, and with a baseball bat in one hand saying, welcome to New York, welcome, but you got to get up out of here. He should have turned those buses around. He would still be the mayor. He had called himself the Biden of Brooklyn. He would literally be the Biden of Brooklyn with the possibility of going to Washington if he had turned those buses around. Possibility of going to Washington after a second term. But oh no, he pandered and kissed their backsides and their advocates, and look at him now. Adams is out, and the city went from a surplus New York City. So city, and thank you for the call, Robert, cities across America. Again, listen to the lesson of New York City. And by the way, folks, AOC, we all know the flub that she made out of the country. She did not know what the interviewer was talking about. We've dealt with that, but we're gonna play it again right now, followed by the vice president's reaction to AOC and the fact of the matter that her elevator does not go to the top floor.
I think that this is such a, I think that this is of course a very long-standing policy of the United States.
Martha, you bring me on your show and you show me the most uncomfortable 20 seconds of television I've ever seen. My takeaway from that.
What happened there? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a person who doesn't know what she actually thinks. And I've seen this way too much in Washington with politicians where they are given lines, and when you ask them to go outside the lines they were given, they completely fall apart because, look, does anybody really believe that AOC has very thoughtful ideas about the global world order or about what the United States should do with our policy in Asia or our policy in Europe? No, this is a person who is mouthing the slogans that somebody else gave her. And it
I guess no one gave her one for that one.
I guess not. And it shows how thin the Democrats' policy actually is on all these very, very important questions. Look, that was embarrassing. If I had given that answer, I would say, you know what, maybe I ought to go read a book about China and Taiwan before I go out on the world stage again. I hope that Congresswoman Cortez has the same humility. I'm skeptical.
All right.
And that's a great idea, Mr. Vice President. AOC, if you can hear me, pick up a book, any book. Pick up a book, please, so that you don't embarrass us on an international stage. It was absolutely embarrassing. But that's what happens when you take someone, and this is no slight on bartenders, but this is what happens when you take someone that should be making you a screwdriver or a gin and tonic, and you say, hey, you're going to Congress and you're a leading Democrat for president. I don't think so. Dominic Carter here with you folks, 800-848-9222.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Did you know that St. Luke's University Health Network has been recognized by the U.S. government as the highest performing health system in the United States for quality? You heard right. St. Luke's #1 recognition affirms our status as the top leader among the most respected healthcare providers in the nation, including Houston Methodist and the Mayo Clinic. To state it simply, if you want to receive the best care when you go to a hospital, come to St. Luke's.
New year, new me? Cute. But how about new year, new money? With Experian, you can actually take control of your finances. Check your FICO score, find ways to save, and get matched with credit card offers, giving you time to power through those New Year's goals you know you're going to crush. Start the year off right. Download the Experian app. Based on FICO Score 8 model. Offers and approval not guaranteed. Eligibility requirements and terms apply. Subject to credit check, which may impact your credit scores. Offers not available in all states. See Experian.com for details.
Experian. It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
I'm looking at my Twitter, at my X. And yes, just like the Dayside crew, I've got beef with Matt Blaze. Matt Blaze looked at me last night. Matt Blaze didn't say a word to me. Matt Blaze knows I have to record the social media stuff for Instagram, Facebook. He makes sure that his beard is trimmed. He makes sure that he looks good. Matt Blaze didn't say a word to me. He's supposed to be my boy. Let's Go Pitt says, hey, Grandpa, at Dominic TV, don't you know a little gray in your mustache makes you look distinguished? I trim mine at least twice a week. Hey, DJ Matt Blaze, don't say anything to Dominic about his gray hairs. Man, you let me record, though. What are you laughing for? You let me do today's social media. They got 20 people back there. Nobody said, Dominic, you need to get a haircut. Let's do this tomorrow. Nobody said, Dominic, the gray is showing. We know you don't like your gray. Nobody said a word. And you, Matt Blaze.
You don't like it?
I don't like it. No, I don't like it. And you didn't say a word about it.
Let's Go Pitt just said you look distinguished.
No, I don't look distinguished with it. I don't like the gray.
Oh, you just think you look old? Old and grizzly?
I'm coming back to you, friend, in just a few minutes, because I really believe, Matt Blaze, and I want you to answer this for me. Yeah. There are people that are voting that have done nothing but, just like Miss Pac-Man, take their entire lives, government services. Now they can vote. And they vote for free. Look at where it got New York City. Coming to a city or to a state near you. A socialist mayor that promises you everything under the sun and within 2 months delivers nada. I really believe that some people shouldn't be allowed to vote. But save your thought, Matt Blaze, and your clean-shaven beard around your mustache and your everything else while I went on there looking busted. Let's go to John, line 1. Don't laugh. John, line 1, Staten Island. John, what's on your mind?
Good evening, Dominic. If Mondami allowed the laws on the books and stopped letting fare evasion happen at about 40% rate from MTA buses and subways, if he enforced theft of service and fortify the subways and buses, he wouldn't have a budget issue. Instead of fortifying those areas, he started. Well, they had congestion pricing, which hit the working man coming into the city. All this stuff happens because they refuse to enforce the law. It's very simple.
Well, John, on the surface, I want to agree with you, but how do you stop these animals from hopping the train and getting on the back of the bus? How do you stop it?
Well, you fortify the entryways. You create stuff so you can't steal. You prosecute people for stealing. You offer if something happens, if you get caught, there's a consequence. There's no consequences in the city.
Right about that. But how are you going to have a consequence when we have district attorneys that basically have PhDs in social work? They're more interested than district attorneys. Go ahead.
Why a journalist doesn't go into the courtroom and watch that turnover and report it to the public. Every charge that's established by a police officer is downgraded. There's car break-ins. There's all this stuff. They say, okay, let's put more people on it. No, you keep catching the same 3 guys that are doing it. But then they get down to court and they get let out immediately. So you have the same victims. The victims are nobody's concerned about the victims in the city. Everybody's concerned about letting these people out like a revolving door. And the fact that this mayor visited the perpetrator with that knife and not the cop, and why the PDA isn't all over this is
You know what, John? You make a good point there. I got to take a break.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Again, looking at my Twitter, at my ex, Juliana, down under Australia. She says, good afternoon to you, Mr. Dominic TV, and Mr. DJ Matt Blaze, a.k.a. Barry White. Juliana says, I am listening to the show while I'm cooking pancakes in the afternoon, huh? Keep yourself nice and warm. God bless. She's bragging that they have warm summer weather in Australia, but I got a bone to pick with you, Matt Blaze. We're going to put the bone to the side for a second. I want you to explain this to me.
Yeah.
So, Mom Donnie, right? I want you to explain this to me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we can't reach every voter in the city. We can't do it,
Right.
I tried to tell everybody that he was a straight up con man. Straight up con man. And he's such a con man, I should win an Oscar for my prediction of how much of a con man he is. But I know we can't do this. So here's where I'm going with this. He promised you free, free, free. Now he says if he can't get what he wants with the budget, if he can't tax the wealthy, which would cost Kathy Hochul the election in New York State, then he wants to now hit the middle class with a property tax. The middle class. So, Matt Blaze, here's my question to you. And I know it can't happen. But, Matt Blaze, some people should not be allowed to vote. Because don't laugh, you have people that have done nothing but take their entire life. A life of dependency, welfare, free daycare, food stamps, the whole Section 8, the whole list of things, the whole litany, and in their family. And then they become old enough to vote. And they go with the person it's almost like a popularity contest. Who looks the best, right? Under normal circumstances, you have people that vote sometimes for candidates that they feel look the best. But you went for this Mom Donnie Khan. Look at what this man is doing to the city. Do you think I'm off my rocker stating that some people shouldn't be allowed to vote?
Well, Dominic, there's an old saying. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, there you go. You know what? Why didn't you tell me that before I went on this litany of comments?
It's as simple as that. The game's got to change.
And you know
shouldn't be on welfare forever.
And what you just said, that's exactly what Mom Donnie is stating if he's in Gracie Mansion right now. Don't hate the player, hate the game. I only beat you at your own game. That's exactly what he's saying.
And it's true.
Now, I had a wingman that helped me in the debates. I had a wingman that made sure I got 50% of the vote, one of the other candidates. But don't hate the player, hate the game.
And that's what you get. Listen, you know that most people that vote are uninformed, ill-informed. They don't follow closely.
They don't know what they're doing.
They don't research. They don't know the statistics. They don't know what's really going on. They have no idea. So when they heard free buses, free groceries, they don't want to hear, well, you really can't do that because someone's got to pay for it. But they're thinking, well, somebody else got to pay for it. Right. I'm not going to pay for it.
I'm
it's going to be
for
free. But then you go, well, that actually can't happen. Besides the fact that people get on the bus for free now. They don't pay.
Right.
So things have to change in the game because they're just taking advantage of the way the game was set up. So, yes, there's generation after generation staying on welfare. Well, how about you give people a limit? Give them a time limit that you're on welfare.
Or with the children.
Right.
Keisha, if you have more than two, you got to pay for them. It's as simple as that, like Minnesota did years ago. Right. But then here comes the civil liberties. You can't do that. That's illegal.
If you can't you can't afford the kids, and you can't have the kids. I mean, I'm not all for taking children away from their parents or anything like that, but you got to have some kind of idea and control of what's going on in your community. And when you have this free, and like I said, generation after generation on welfare, well, now it's time to put a limit on welfare. I'm not saying to take it all away permanently, forever, but to say, okay, you're on welfare, you got, let's even be generous, because, well, people stay on it forever. So be generous and say, you got 7 years. If you can even say you got 10 years. In 10 years, you're going to, and after a certain, maybe after 5 years, it's going to diminish. In other words, you might be getting X amount of dollars, but after 5 years, we're going to take some of that away. Because you need to start.
And the food stamps.
Right, and that's included. And you have to start doing something to show that you're contributing to yourself.
But they shouldn't be allowed to vote. I mean, I don't know how you carry that out. They shouldn't, because this is ridiculous. There's no way that a socialist should be elected mayor in any city across America, which we're airing in right now. But in particular, we're talking about New York City. There is no way that this little boy should be the mayor of New York City. There's just no way. He doesn't know what he's doing. Almost 20 people are dead because of his, died alone in the cold, out of their mind, mentally ill, because this little boy's trying to play like he's a mayor.
And you would think you go to people that have some experience to advise you on something, so this doesn't happen, and you kind of recognize the fact, all right, I'm a young guy, I ran for mayor, somehow I won, because that's kind of what it is, and I need people around me that actually do know something.
No. All he cares about is, do you agree with his agenda? His horrible agenda that's anti-Semitic, anti-police. That's all he cares about. But now there are two reasons why I'm not messing with you, Matt Blaze. One, you didn't tell me that I was busted and I needed a haircut. And two, I didn't think of don't hate the player, hate the game, as it relates to Mamdani, because you're 1,000% correct, because that's exactly what he's saying right now. Don't hate the player, hate the game. All I did was beat you at your own game. That's what I did. I gave you $1 and a dream, and you were stupid enough to go for it. And now I'm mayor for the next 4 years, and there is nothing that you can do about it. I rigged the election to a degree. I had one of the other candidates in my pocket. He was a lead blocker for me to make sure that Cuomo couldn't get close to me. And in the debates, that lead blocker focused on Cuomo. It was 2 against 1. And then those two split the opposition vote, and I'm the mayor. How you like me now? I don't know, Matt Blaze. I'm still not speaking to you. You know, you let me these videos, man. I'm busted, all this gray hair. Thank you, Matt. While I look at you and your goatee. Is that what you call it? Goatee?
Goatee, beard, scruff.
Yeah, yours is perfect.
Whatever
it's
you want to call it.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
But you let the brother, and you're a brother, but you let the brother do his social media stuff. All those people on social media. I mean, no one said Dominic's not looking his best today.
I did think you were going for the Fred Sanford look. I guess I was wrong.
Thank you, Matt Blaze. Let's get back to your telephone calls. Patrice, line 3 in Brooklyn. Patrice, good morning. What's on your mind?
God bless you, Dominic. You know, gray hair on a person could be cute sometimes. Most of the time it's cute when it's gray, you know? But can you hear me, Dominic?
I hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to mention, I was going to mention a lot, but I'm just going to mention a little bit. I think our mayor, who may only have 4 years, unless he, drops that socialist stuff, I think he could get into the pocket of Trump, because he was really buddy-buddy with Trump when he was in Washington, D.C. Now, Trump, I think, got in trouble because he was messing around with the real estate, especially here in New York, by raising the, or not letting the...
Okay, wait. Patrice, you said Trump got in trouble. Well, then how did he get elected president? Twice.
Well, Biden beat him out the second time he tried, but the third time he was elected.
Okay, but you said he got in trouble in New York. But okay, but anyway, dead on arrival. That's not going to happen, Patrice. Thank you for the call. Mamdani running game to Trump for money? I don't think so. It's absolutely not going to happen. Let's go to Matt, line 2 in Pennsylvania. Good morning, Matt. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic. How's it going?
Good. Go right ahead, please.
Good. I was just thinking now, I'm talking about AOC on the world stage, making a fool out of herself, and Mamdani. They should have some kind of, when you go for an executive position in a company, you gotta show your credentials, your know-how, you gotta show your experience. They should have some kind of test before you can even begin to become a candidate. You even know how to, 1 + 1. How'd they get that far?
Right, but Matt, they do have a test. And that test is go before the poor, promise them everything under the sun, and that's the test. And if you can sell the poor people that don't know any better, and I don't mean that as a slight, but it is a test, a litmus test, if you will. Go promise them everything. And if you're able to fool them enough, they'll turn out in record numbers, hint, hint, AOC, and you'll win. And AOC is an insult to the bartenders of America. She really is. I mean, the elevator does not go to the top floor. I don't even think it goes halfway. Matt in Pennsylvania, thank you for the great call. Let's go to William, line 1 in New Jersey. William, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, thanks for taking my call. I'm just really upset about that poor kid that was shot and killed, and he had all this promise. He was like a football standout, and to hear his father's voice, so sad. And my point is, Dominic, the guns keep coming into the city. Interstate, they're coming through. And, why can't Mamdani bring back A, stop and frisk, and B, why can't we have, Wait. William,
Let's stop and pause. Let's work this out together here. So you said bring back stop and frisk. He doesn't even want the strategic police unit that responds to protests. And you think he's going to bring back stop and frisk? The only police that Mamdani wants is the detail that protects him. William, that's never going to happen. Ever. He doesn't like cops. Look at what happened. The mentally ill schizophrenic man pulls the knife up. The cops are forced to shoot him. Mamdani goes to visit him and does not visit the cops. What does that say to you, William?
Well, it sounds like he does. I guess he's anti-cop. But however, Dominic, the people are, the good people in the city are dying as a direct result of him neglecting that. And if he brought it back, I thought he was he was a man of the people, and he was going to make New York that much better.
William, do you really believe that he's a man of the people? Do you really believe that?
No, I think he has it. Number one, I think he has an agenda, and I think he has an agenda where it's he's not gonna be compliant, and he's gonna be like this rebel and think that his way is he's gonna force a square peg into a round hole. He's defiant. That's what I don't like about him. And then now too that he has the throne, he's going to try and force this stuff down our throat. But I'm just concerned about the good people in the city that have to dodge and weave all this insanity that's only going to get worse, Dominic. You know that as the temperatures rise. And, it just makes me crazy to know that this is all still going to happen. And, why can't we get the feds in and, start searching the interstates for a lot of these firearms that are coming into the city? New York has the strictest gun laws.
Right. Well, William, I don't mean this in an offensive way, but good luck with that, with everything that you just said. Mamdani has an agenda. Mamdani barely won. Mamdani had a lead blocker in the debates and in the election, and that lead blocker has gone silent because nobody in their right mind can approve of the job that this little boy that's always had a silver spoon in his mouth, that this little boy is doing. This man is a horror. He should not be the mayor of New York City. Okay, maybe he could be the mayor of his college graduating class or something like that where it doesn't count. But of New York City, I don't think so. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
Back to the phones we go. Kevin, line 3, Manhattan. Kevin, good morning. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I want to say something about Dapper Dan of the Taliban, Mamdani.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were talking about. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's Dapper Dan of the Taliban.
I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with calling the Indian American mayor Taliban. But go ahead.
Well, he sympathizes with them. That's clear.
Right, that's clear. Kevin, let's get to the point, please. Let's get to the point. Let's get to the point. What's the point you want to make?
He is following Khan's agenda in London stand.
We know that. We know that. I said that about 20 minutes ago.
Right. Okay. So what I wanted to say to your point a couple of minutes ago was that we deserve the property tax increase because in Chicago, their taxes went up 100% and 133% in Garfield and Lawndale.
Wait, Kevin, did you say we? I couldn't have heard you correctly. You said wait a minute. You said because the taxes went up in Chicago, where they're screaming bloody murder, that we deserve the same thing solely based on they went up in Chicago.
I want to say why.
Just quickly, man. You got to get to the point.
They went up in the black neighborhoods.
Okay, and what is the point? What is Kevin?
Because
Kevin, stop. I want you to focus. Just say what your point is. Stop talking all around it.
Is that when you vote for these policies,
I didn't vote for these policies.
Okay, the people who he won. And the blocker,
because he had a lead blocker that split the vote. That's why he won.
And I want to say something about that.
No. I have a fully lit board. I can't let you go on forever. Thank you for the call, Kevin.
All right.
Let's go. No, you're done. Let's go to Steve. Yes. Thank you, great beard, Matt Blaze, while I have gray in my beard and my mustache. Let's go to, let's get a female voice in here. Let's go to Rose, Long Island, I believe, line 3. Rose, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. Listen, Mandami he's a train wreck, and the ironic thing is he can't stand the police, but the only one that can protect his little tush is Tish. He has to listen to her. He knows nothing about police, and if he starts with this social worker on these calls...
Oh, he doesn't listen to her? He doesn't listen to her at all.
I know, ironically, she's the only one that could save his tush. He's going to have more blood on his hands than Cuomo did. That's it.
Right. Well, you make some good points there, Rose. Thank you for the great call. Let's go to Vinny in Nutley, New Jersey, line 5. Vinny, what's on your mind?
Dominic, listen, we love you. My wife loves you. Hoboken Mary loves you. You got to come down Friday and have lunch with us.
What Friday, Vinny?
This Friday. I know you're busy.
Yeah, no, Vinny, I can't this Friday, Vinny. But you know, you folks who are in Nutley are fantastic, and we'll work it out. We'll work it out, Vinny. So I'm coming. That's right, because you said your wife makes excellent Spanish food, correct?
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? What do you think I weigh? 235 pounds.
So one more time, what are the excellent Spanish? Because I like the beans and rice with the stewed chicken. Does she know how to get down like that, Vinny?
Oh, well, she speaks Spanish, so I don't. At that pollo, beans and rice, and arroz con pollo. Oh God, she's just telling me over here.
She's telling you. So ask her, since she's right there, what is the best dish, Spanish dish, that she makes?
All right, hold on.
Oh my gosh.
Best dish.
Are you kidding me? Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Oh my gosh, I love you.
So wait, I thank you. I've been hearing about your cooking for the longest. What's the best Spanish dish that you make?
I love to make the pedin, the rasta roast pork, and then I like to make arroz con pollo, which is the rice and the chicken, and also the beans, habichuela. Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, Matt Blaze is smiling. I'm smiling. This is fantastic. I'm completely out of time, but please do me a favor. Tell your husband I got to be in touch, and you have to be in touch because we've got to have some of the Spanish food. Do we have a deal?
Absolutely. I make food all the time for the people in the office where we live.
I got to wrap this up. Thank you so much. Oh, what a way to end the show. Oh.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?